Hey guys, how's it going? Elliot here again. In today's video we're going to be having a look at probably the most obscure handheld I'm ever going to be showing on my channel. It's one of my favourites in my collection, and I did in my last video say I was going to do the Neo Geo Pocket video next. However, there's a couple of reasons why I'm going to be doing this one. So without any further ado then, this is the console here. It is the QuickShot Supervision. It was branded under a ridiculous amount of names. I'm going to put all the technical specifications and a selection of the names in the description. I believe it was released under 16 different variations of names, like branding and actual model. It's the most ridiculous thing I actually own in my collection. I have a couple of different ones. So we're going to be having a look at them. We'll go through some of the different ones. As I said, technical specifications are going to be in the description. If I go through all of them, it's going to make this video really, really long. I want to try and keep these retro handheld extravaganzas around 10 minutes. Anyway, without any further ado then, let's have a look at the first one. Now this one I picked up not too long ago from a guy from Portugal, I believe, and it didn't actually have this damage to the screen on it when I first got it. However, after putting some batteries in it and actually fixing it because it didn't work properly, it started to leak some of the pixels. The liquid crystal isn't actually repairable. There's nothing you can do about that. The only thing I can do really is wait until I get another one, but they're quite hard to get, quite expensive. There's only one on eBay at the moment. It's about £170 and it comes with a box. Anyway then, that's where the batteries go. It takes 4 AA's, just like the Game Boy. So what's it like compared to the Game Boy then? Well, it's pretty much the same colour. This one's probably just discoloured over a period of time. This one here is actually in really, really mint condition. So yeah, on the bottom we've got the headphone port. We have the speakers here on the bottom right. We've got our A button, our B button. We've got not a D-pad actually. This is 4 separate buttons, which makes it really, really awkward to press. Whereas on this one you can keep your thumb in the same place and just wiggle it around. This one you have to actually physically move like buttons. We have start and select, and this one's we've got start and select down here. On the front obviously we have our screen, kind of going for a similar design here. As you can see, we've got the Watara logo there. On the side we have the volume. This one has the external port. On the top then we have a really, really horrible little switch. I don't know why they went for such a rough switch. It's actually similar to the switch that's on the Game Boy, except this one has a piece of plastic that goes over the top of it to make it a little bit nicer to feel. On the back then we have the battery port. This one takes 4 AA's. It's exactly the same as the Game Boy here. If I can do this with one hand, there you go, as you can see. And yeah, that's pretty much it then. Obviously you've got the big port for the games. Speaking of which, let's have a look at a game. So I have a few games here, as you can see. I believe they're all backwards compatible. They came in these little kind of plastic cases, a little bit cheap, nowhere near as nice as the ones from Nintendo. But as you can see, the pins on the bottom are exposed, so they have to be put in something, otherwise they'll just break off or get really dirty obviously. But if we have a look then at compared to the size of an original Game Boy cartridge, pretty much about the same width, a little bit wider, shorter, and yeah, pretty much that's it. It's got your sticker on the front. Incidentally, the artwork on the front is so poor. It's actually unbelievable. As you can see, this one's quite detailed, but we'll go through these in a bit. But yeah, going on to some games then. So this one here is Crystal Ball. This was the one that came released with the actual console, and it's just a block breaker, I believe, or I can't remember exactly what the name of it is. An inherent thing with this, let's just turn that down, my god. An inherent thing with this then, oh, I forgot to mention this has got the power on the side, exactly the same 6V as the Game Boy, and then we've got the contrast as well. So the sound is absolutely ridiculously painful. I'll turn it up again and we'll be able to hear it. As you can see, there's a huge amount of ghosting. It doesn't get better than that, honestly, that is it. A huge amount of ghosting, however the screen is a lot bigger than the one on the Game Boy. As you can see there, probably about double the size actually. Crystal Ball is quite a basic game, as I said. Let's have a look at some slightly more interesting ones then. So if you watched my pickup video, then you'll know that I picked up this one here, which has the amusing name of hash blocks, which in today's society has a completely different meaning. Well, possibly even back when this came out. I don't know why they called it hash blocks. This is possibly the most shocking game I've ever played in my life. It's just really, really bad. I really don't actually know what's going on. Like, you can select either numbers or shapes, I think, there. So we've got numbers. Now here's the weird thing as well. When you press down to drop this to the bottom, the whole game speeds up, so the music speeds up as well. It is just pain. No words. Warning, if you are looking to see some good gameplay in this video, I would turn it off now. Before we have a look at any more games then, let's have a look at some different variations. So there was this one here, which is the Hartung Supervision. This one has a bendy middle piece, and for some reason, actually this one doesn't have little stands to stand it up. However, this one has. So for some reason it bends like that in the middle. And then to make it even more awkward and unplayable, you have these little feet that come out. And then apparently, you're meant to play it like this. I mean, I don't know what the reasoning behind this was. Or you're meant to play it like that, and it's just absolutely shocking. And also this just picks up dust so much, and you can't remove it if you watch my teardown video. It's the most shocking thing I've ever seen in my life, and it's an absolute disgrace. D-pads, incidentally, are different. This one's kind of got a ball design going on, whereas this one's got the traditional kind of D-pad. And as this one doesn't have the stand, when you whack it down, it just falls over. Absolute disgrace. It's just a huge mess. Probably why you never heard of it, actually, as it didn't just do anywhere near as good as the Game Boy. I have two of these. This one, the only major difference being it has a external port here. It's a COM port. The COM port was used actually for a link to the TV, and it's similarly to the Game Boy. It displayed it in 4 different colours, which was actually quite cool. I believe also it had a cable where you can connect and play multiplayer and do that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is quite similar to the original one. As you can see, it makes the Game Boy look like an absolute dwarf. It's huge, really bulky. I've got quite big hands, so it doesn't look that big, but it is absolutely ginormous. As you can see, if you hold a Game Boy cartridge in your hand, that's the size of the screen. So let's have a look then at a couple more games. So we've had a look at Hash Blocks. This is probably my favourite game. We'll have a look at this one then, just to give the Supervision some sort of credit. Actually no, this is not my favourite game. This is a different one. This one apparently is quite rare, but I don't believe how many of these can be rare. Again, it's just like a Dr. Mario thing going on. And when you speed them up to take them to the bottom straight away, the music goes all funky and sounds terrible. Next up then, we have this one, Super Block. You'd thought, anything with the name Block in it, with a fake rip-off, is most likely going to be Tetris. This one is not. I don't actually believe it's anything like Tetris. Let's have a look. Oh my god, that music. I think it's similar to the game Othello. It's just painful, it just is. Take it away. Next then, we have, I'm only going to show you one of the games on this just because of how obvious it was that this was going to be one of the games that was made for this thing. It really actually is quite comfortable. So yeah, oh my god, why is this a thing? It's got so many more pieces than the original Tetris. Oh my god, it's spazzing out quite a lot there. I don't want to play anymore. Next, so this one is actually quite an interesting game. Now, I believe this did actually have similar capabilities to the Game Boy, like actual hardware inside. As I said, I'll put all the details in the description below, so feel free to have a look and then tell me if it's similar specs or not. But I'm pretty certain it is. This one actually is quite a nice game. I think it does quite a good job here of taking the specifications and actually using them. It's kind of like this 3D. It is actually quite a cool, interesting game. I mean, it's shit, don't get me wrong, and the hitboxes are just absolutely ridiculous if you can actually see what's going on. But I like how it's kind of like a 3D thing going on. It's quite cool, quite Mega Drive-esque, I would say. So let's get on to my favourite game then. I really don't know what is going on with this game. However, it does seem like quite a lot of fun if you were to have some sort of dedication to play this. I do believe they have an emulator for this, so go ahead and check that out. So this one here is called Dreamworld, and it's actually like a game. Like what? A game? Hello? You're this little girl, I think. I can't really confirm if you are a little girl or not, but you jump in pretty much zero gravity, I think. So if this can actually focus. So you can jump by pressing up, and you can also jump by pressing B, and then A, you shoot something. Don't really know what it is. I mean, the music. Oh my god, it's just such a tragic console. Like, think about, you can be playing Zelda, like, and actually one of my favourite games of all time. You could be playing that, or you could be playing this. You know what I mean? Like, it's just ridiculous. But it is quite funny, and they're getting harder and harder to find. I think it's actually a really cool handheld. Obviously, it's a huge failure compared to Nintendo's Game Boy. But as a collection piece, I think it's quite funny, and there's some interesting games for it. There are quite a lot of good games. Well, I say good games, but games with actual thought put into them. I don't have any of those, and they get really expensive. There's a couple on eBay at the moment. They're about £60 each. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. This has been the Watara Travell Mate, or the Hartung Supervision, or the QuickShot Supervision. I don't really know what to say about this console. It kind of takes my words away whenever I look at it or play it, but it's quite interesting nevertheless, and it is a part of history, and it is a handheld. That's it then for this video. I really hope you guys have enjoyed. This has been the 4th episode of the Retro Handheld Extravaganza series. I really hope you guys have enjoyed. 100% next video is going to be the Neo Geo Pocket Color. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.